The courtroom fell silent. Diddy looked shaken, his attorney caught off guard. The judge barely reacted before Diddy's face went pale. His legal team whispered frantically, but it was too late. The prosecution had video evidence featuring a teenage Justin Bieber. The energy in the room shifted instantly.
We're going to get started with something that Diddy and his lawyers knew was coming down the pike eventually, and now it has happened. A new indictment, it's called a superseding indictment. It really replaces the original one that the federal prosecutors had filed against him. And the big headline here is that now they are saying there are two more.
This wasn't just another lawsuit or allegation. For the first time, the man who built an empire on confidence and power looked genuinely afraid.
Meantime, let's talk about the fact that Combs' co-defendant in a civil case, a case, by the way, that accuses him and this co-defendant, another A-lister, of rape. This guy is once again slamming the attorney behind the case, insisting that he be sanctioned for allegedly not doing his job. We're talking, of course, about Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z, once again calling out attorney Tony Buzbee, calling out his character, more specifically into question, claiming that the Texas attorney's filings have, quote, substantial inaccuracies and that there was a failure to properly investigate before filing. Now, we've talked about this before, but basically, a civil lawsuit was filed against Sean Combs on behalf of a Jane Doe who says that she was raped by Combs and another celebrity at a home after the Video Music Awards in 2000. She says she was just 13 years old when this happened. And weeks after the initial filing, Buzbee submitted an amended complaint naming Jay-Z as the celebrity who allegedly participated in this assault.
But let's back up. To understand why this moment was so devastating, you need to see the web of chaos that led here. Seeing Diddy Combs, once the king of hip-hop, is now fighting for his legacy, his freedom, and possibly his entire empire, facing multiple lawsuits and federal charges.
Anyways, I want to also just show you this montage. This is a montage that was shared by Evie Magazine. They do great work on their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
Wow. I feel violated right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. Look at what a beautiful face. All right.
Whispers of a lifestyle so dark, so predatory, that even his closest allies are distancing themselves fast. And at the center of it all, Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber turned 15, and it suddenly seemed that Hollywood was keen to almost initiate him. I think that's the right word. Like there was almost like this initiation that he needed to go through. So I want you to be now super uncomfortable and watch this video of an interaction between him and none other than Diddy. Take a listen.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
For years, people speculated about Diddy's strange influence over a young Justin Bieber. But after Diddy's arrest in September, fans started connecting the dots. Why was Bieber always around him as a kid? Why did Diddy talk about their time together like it was some secret rite of passage?
So young Justin Bieber, who was signed by Usher, involved with Scooter Braun, now all of a sudden he's being put in the hands of Diddy, who, it is true, he became the legal guardian for Usher. You can look up all of the allegations of what Diddy did to Usher. A lot of this coming out via multiple lawsuits that Essentially, if we were to put it in a nice context, or at least use a euphemism for something that's really disgusting, the allegations are essentially that Diddy very much initiated Usher into Hollywood. And as we are going through these lawsuits and Diddy is in prison, we are recognizing that everybody knew. This was an open secret about what Diddy was doing. So it just begs question, who allowed Justin Bieber to be in the presence of this man knowing what he was up to? Allegedly up to. That seems to be very clear, that there is some veracity to those claims.
A 2009 clip that quickly went viral. In it, Diddy boasts about spending 48 hours with 15-year-old Bieber. "What we're doing, we can't really disclose," he says, grinning at the camera. But it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. Bieber, sitting beside him, plays along. "Let's just go get some girls."
They wanted copies of these videos for themselves. And I've talked to lawyers about this before. There's a big advantage to having the electronic video, the electronic evidence yourself, right? You don't have to always go over to the other office. You can view the materials on your own. It's a way to better prepare for your defense. And Sean Combs' lawyers argued that under the federal rules of criminal procedure, if the defendant asks for it, the government has to give a defendant the opportunity to inspect and to copy electronic data that is in the government's possession. Judge Subramanian denied the defense's motion to amend the protective order, but without prejudice, meaning this issue could be revisited. So Subramanian's order reads, quote, "While the government objects to handing the videos over, they provide several options for a defendant to consider that would permit the defense to view the videos, access the information they're looking for, and even allow them to manipulate the videos as they see fit."
At the time, it seemed like nothing more than an odd exchange between a powerful music mogul and his young protege. But after the allegations against Diddy surfaced, that clip took on a much more sinister tone.
Justin Bieber's got more on his mind than Diddy's arrest. A source telling ET the new dad's energy is going towards wife Haley and son Jack. And he's not focused on what is going on with Diddy or the allegations against him.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs.
The insider info coming after footage of Diddy and Justin resurfaced on social media. Videos showed the disgraced media mogul alongside teenage Justin, with online sleuths speculating if, at the time, he subjected the pop star to his alleged freak.
Then the unthinkable happened. In the courtroom, the prosecution presented a video, evidence so significant that Diddy's legal team immediately objected. But it was too late. The judge allowed it.
Justin was signed when he was just 13 years old, and I should mention he was signed by Usher to a label that was owned jointly by both Scooter Braun and Usher, and he was considered Usher's protege. He has been described Usher as his mentor. Justin Bieber, is continuing the purge. He has now moved to unfollow Usher, okay, his original mentor. So this is a very big story. And the reason why we should discuss this and we should not diminish what is happening, it's not celebrity drama. This is actually the fall of Babylon that we are witnessing, Hollywood Babylon, that is.
For years, Bieber dodged questions about his early career, his mentors, and the industry figures who shaped him. But since Diddy's legal troubles began, Bieber has been making quiet moves, subtle signs he's distancing himself from his past.
He did an interview back in 2020 with Zane Lowe. I think this was on Apple Music. And he was speaking about another young artist that was coming up, Billie Eilish, and Eilish. And he was basically speaking about how he wanted to protect her because she was now another young person, a rising artist in the industry. And sort of out of nowhere, he became quite overcome with emotion. Take a listen.
Did you feel protective of her?
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing. And if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and
I'm not even kidding. Watching that clip makes me emotional because he is saying so much without really saying anything. Protect Billie Eilish from what? From who? What is he so concerned about when he sees this young person in the industry? What exactly did he go through? Well,
first, he unfollowed Usher, a small move, maybe, but notable since Usher was the one who introduced him to Diddy. Then he cut ties with Scooter Braun, his longtime manager and the man who was supposed to protect him in the industry.
And while disgraced movie mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been slammed with another lawsuit. An unnamed person has accused the music mogul of drugging and assaulting him. As per a lawsuit which was filed in New York, the incident allegedly took place in 2015. Prosecutors and the lawyer representing the alleged victims in the case have been behind a substantial number of suits brought against Combs over the past year, including one that named Jay-Z as an additional defendant. The new lawsuit says that in 2015, the unnamed male person had approached Combs with the aspirations of becoming a rapper and singer. The 23-year-old was scheduled to open for a popular music artist at a series of Los Angeles nightclubs. Now, prior to his performance, he was informed that Combs would be in attendance, and should the performance go well, Combs would consider signing him to Bad Boy Records. The lawsuit further stated that later that night he attended an after party where there were other well-known entertainers who were taking in drugs. Now, one of Combs' associates handed him a drink which he later realized was drugged. The unnamed person has further claimed that during his unconscious state, Diddy Combs had engaged in unconsented sexual activities. Meanwhile, in a statement provided to media, Combs' attorneys say, and I'm quoting here, "As we've said before, Mr. Combs cannot respond to every new publicity stunt."
Then came the resurfaced interviews, Bieber opening up about the struggles of being young in Hollywood, the people who failed him, and the trauma he's still processing. And that viral moment, where an emotional Bieber spoke about wanting to protect young stars like Billie Eilish from the dark side of the industry, suddenly, that clip felt different.
According to the complaint, Jane Doe says that, again, when she was 13 years old in 2000, when her and a friend drove to Radio City Music Hall in New York City, where the Video Music Awards, the VMAs, were being held, she says she didn't have a ticket. So what does she do? She mills about outside, and that's when she says that one of Sean Combs' limo drivers told her to come back later and he would take her to an after party. She claims that she was given a drink at this after party, which she now believes was drugged. She claims she started feeling woozy, went to find somewhere to lay down, and that is when she says she was raped by Jay-Z and Sean Combs.
Fans started connecting the dots, and so did the prosecution. Diddy's legal troubles began with a single accusation. An aspiring musician, John Doe, claimed Diddy drugged and assaulted him at a 2015 after-party. But that was just the beginning.
This morning, new details allegedly inside Diddy's world before his shocking arrest. The entertainment mogul now behind bars for federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges.
It was a circus. He did whatever he wanted, and we were just at his disposal.
Phil Pines was Diddy's senior executive assistant from 2019 to 2021. He says his then boss asked him to purchase supplies for parties dubbed Wild King Nights.
We usually had a laundry list of items that included lights, alcohol, marijuana, ketamine, Molly. Those requests started to become more frequent.
Pines claims many of these parties involved younger women.
A lot of times you would have him with a younger female, and there's a power dynamic there. A more impressionable girl is easier to reel in. Consent is between the people that are engaging, and I wasn't there in these situations to understand the consent.
The new interview, part of Investigation Discovery's docuseries, The Fall of Diddy.
My job is to shield his private life from the public.
Pines even sharing audio he says is of Diddy telling Pines to bring him various substances during those Wild King nights.
Phil, I need some Cialis. And give me 20 Xanax, please. Hey, Phil, I need a plan B.
I remember hearing the words, "Prove your loyalty to me, King." He grabbed me by the shoulders, pushed me to a girl that was on the couch.
More allegations followed. A full-scale investigation uncovered years of abuse. an alleged criminal enterprise involving trafficking, coercion, and a network designed to keep victims silent.
That's the thing. Right? I have kids. I don't even post. And then, the Twitter trolls will be, we're her kids. Well, I'm protecting them. And this is sad. I mean, this is sad. And this one with Bieber.
This is the Bieber one? Yeah.
Where are the parents?
Yeah. And which parent would say, you know what? We don't know you. We know that you're a celebrity. Go and hang out with this guy for weeks on end by yourself. And at what time, at what era is this cool?
In the most critical years, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. How is this, Alina?
They both
turn. How is this normal?
So
they both
turn
into superstars. Yeah, that's the sacrifice you make. Yeah, that's the sacrifice. But one of them had to go to church and he freaking lost his.
Prosecutors claim Diddy's infamous freak-offs, private, drug-fueled parties, were far more sinister than the public ever knew. Women, men, and even celebrities were allegedly caught in the crossfire, manipulated and exploited under the guise of industry networking.
Breaking news now. Prosecutors have detailed new allegations against Sean Diddy Combs. And among these new charges, prosecutors say Combs led a criminal organization that they call the Combs Enterprise. Members are accused of sex trafficking and traveling across state lines to engage in prostitution, arson, robbery, and obstruction of justice. Combs is being held at a federal jail in Brooklyn as of late, and he's already pleaded not guilty to charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation in prostitution.
Bieber was around for all of it. Now the question isn't just what he saw, it's whether he was a victim too. If that video is as damning as insiders claim, it could change everything.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're here at Hillsong Conference 2017, having the best time. And how you guys doing? Are you guys enjoying conference? Carl, shut up, Virgil. Shut up.
Yeah, it was very good talk.
Very good. So
we've had, you know what? We had the best. Had a couple cool moments. Went to Young and Free.
And I think it's always really. So
shout out to Lorenzo.
So theme.
And so my response is I want to come closer to him. I want to live a life that's closer to God than ever before.
Absolutely. Justin. Samesies. Samesies. Carl.
I want to get close like that wisp is to Justin. No, I want to get better.
I just want to love Carl more.
You're doing a good job with that.
Prosecutors say this is just the beginning. More witnesses, more evidence, and the unraveling of an empire Diddy built on intimidation and secrecy.